to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Owen Hayes. You're watching Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented to you by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor. Today is Saturday, the 20th of September, and we are live here in the studio. Last weekend, I was actually gone. I was up in the mountains trying to chase some elk and deer around and everything else that was open. I'll have that report when we get to it here in just a little bit. But today we've got a great show lined up for you. I hope that you can watch us the entire hour because you don't want to miss anything that might help you make a decision going forward this upcoming week, because a lot of things are changing. For myself, I'm starting to really think about birds. That's about it. I got duck season right around the corner, but lots of great fishing opportunities right now on the Columbia for another day or so. And then, of course, things are going to change a little bit there as well. So we'll make sure to talk a little bit about that today, if we can, at the very least. Upcoming segment in the report segment, have some photos to show you from my week gone. Also, we'll have river levels for you and fish counts, which are very interesting and very frustrating for just a couple of day extension on the Columbia. But at the very least, we're going to get there at some point in time. I was a little bit surprised by that when I got back into town, but we'll have a chance to cover that this morning. We've got the Procure giveaway that we'll make sure that you're well aware of, and of course a weather report with Peyton Major, find out what this weather is going to do. And it looks like summer's going to try to stick around for a little while, but we'll talk about that with Peyton. Then our first guest, and it seems like it's this time of year that we always get a chance to talk with Scott Haugen. Scott Haugen is a world-renowned author, television host, hunter, world-class hunter, unquestionably. But we're going to have a chance to talk to him about that right there. Rifle season starts here in Oregon in a very short period of time. And there were already folks heading up into the woods that I ran into in the middle of September that were heading up to scout. I'm going to give a little advice there for folks. When it's bow season and there's folks that are actually out, actively bow hunting, scouting through the middle of them, really not the best thing to do, but that's a whole other topic, I guess. But I'm looking forward to talking with Scott, find out what his thoughts are for this upcoming season, and of course, talk about one of his favorite species to target, which is blacktail. That just literally made my stomach growl. Then we got a couple of Facebook questions that we're going to have in between our second interview, which is going to be Cameron Black from Gone Catching Guide Service. It's been way too long since we've talked with my good friend Cameron. I know he's out on the Columbia somewhere. This time of year, he can be in any number of places on the Columbia, so we'll find out where he is, how the fishing is, and what he is seeing. Really, the only reports that I got there this week was that I missed some pretty darn good fishing while I was up on the mountain, but I can guarantee you I much would have preferred to be on the mountain. Then, of course, we're going to have the deal of the week from Fisherman's Marine, also an update on their newest fall hunting sale, and the photo contest that they have each and every week. We'll have that winner to show you this morning as well. And, of course, we got a ton of photos that we're going to be showing you here in just a little bit. Can we take Brian's call? Let's go ahead and talk to Brian. Brian is from Tillamook. Looks like he's got a question or a comment about the Salmon Creek hatchery closure. Yeah, Brian.
Hey, how you doing, Owen?
I'm doing good, sir, and I know who you are. You've got your finger on the pulse of all kinds of things going on over there along the coast, let alone handicap opportunities. But I did read a little bit about this. What's going on?
Okay, supposedly the Salmon Creek hatchery lost its funding. That's a lie. The Salmon Creek hatchery was never funded in the latest budget, and they're succumbing to legislative pressure. So until fishermen start calling and writing their legislators and saying, we can't do this, nothing's going to happen. The state of Washington funds 85 hatcheries. We have 35, now going to be 34.
Wow.
So the fishermen have to do something, get politically active.
And Brian, you know that in the fishing community, that's a difficult pill to swallow to have to do, of course, but they shouldn't actually have to do that. It should be funded anyway. But when is this actually going to get implemented, or has it already come to pass?
It's on a 5-year closure right now.
5 years. And it was a legislature from the state that decided not to fund it.
Right, and that is being induced from an outside pressure from some sort. I couldn't figure that out, but it's certain legislators don't want to fund the hatchery. They want fewer hatcheries so they got more money.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, we keep paying more and more for our tags and licenses.
Right.
Yeah, the other thing is the Columbia River endorsement.
Yes. Well,
all the money that we put into ODFW goes into the general fund.
yes.
That includes the Columbia River endorsement.
Very frustrating.
They were supposed to use the money in 2017 to buy out the gill netters.
Yes, they were.
They haven't. That money's all gone. It all went into the general fund. They've already spent it.
Yeah, it's another great scam on the outdoors people here in the state of Oregon and Washington, for that matter.
Yeah, once Big Brother gets in your pocket, he's never going to get out.
No, and it's amazing how in 2012, when that agreement was actually made, how Washington decided to blow all that up, and yet still we're fishing with barbless hooks on the Columbia and paying for the Columbia River endorsement. It's extremely frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I can say this: we do have folks that are trying to do the best that they possibly can. Obviously, it's a tall hill to climb. But Brian, thanks for the heads up. We appreciate that about the Salmon Creek hatchery closure. People do need to get involved.
Hey.
Wait, Brian, what would be the best way, if you were to say, and I'm running short on time here, but what would be the best way for folks that are watching that wanted to let their voice be heard, the best way to do that, you think?
It would be to call repeatedly their local legislators, especially ones in Lincoln County, or organize a protest at the state capitol to make it a public notice on what's going on.
Great advice, Brian.
That would be the two ways I would go.
Brian, thank you, sir. We appreciate the heads up and even some of the advice. We appreciate that. Good luck when you get out there, okay? All right, we're going to go ahead and start showing you some of the photos that you've all been sending over, and I guarantee you somewhere in here I'm going to see an animal that I sure wish that I could have got my fingers on this week, but we'll talk about that this upcoming segment. First salmon for the boys, and man, I missed some darn good fishing this past week. It seems like that's the case each year in September if you're an elk hunter, but our minds aren't really focused on fins this time of year. Afternoon bite, John. Nice, hey, well done. I'm not sure where he was, but if he ended up with 2 for the day, congrats on that, John. Nice photo as well, nice fish, chromers, look at that. Area 1 catch. Mike Thompson, looks like he had a very successful day. Looks like silvers. Oh, that's going to be a topic. Not too much for today, but going forward, another nice silver right there. Coho, sorry. Some call it that, some call it this, whatever. Buoy 10 action, Gina. Great photo. Nice fish, too. Heard of a 20-plus pounder caught in one of our local tributaries here in the last few days. Crazy. That I don't even know if I've ever seen, well, yeah, I have, but that's super rare. That's a big silver to be over 20 pounds. Garibaldi tuna. Chris, thanks for the photo. And I mean, just pure mayhem. If you've never been on that on a tuna trip before off the coast of Oregon, book something, find somebody. It's so cool. Certainly an adventure. Better be a boat. It's got to be a 30-footer for me. Just the way it is. Grandson's nice catch. Yeah, it is. It's almost the same size as he is. Lance, thanks for sending the photo over. It's easy to do. We'll get to that. We'll show you exactly how to send those over. Kelly's Rogue Hog. Man, this year and years past, obviously, that Rogue just produces some toads of Chinook. I have got to get down there. I say it every year, and I yet don't make that trip down. I got to talk my buddies into doing it. None of them are very adventurous anymore. They're getting old. Randy G. from Oregon City. What the heck is that? Jack silver? I can't tell. Looks like it. Looks maybe not even a jack, but just a silver. Yeah, things are going to start getting interesting around here when you're talking about silvers. I'm looking forward to doing a little twitching prior to duck season getting started, of course. Scott's Upriver Bright. Been some big ones caught. It's been some interesting reports. Again, this upcoming segment, we'll talk a little bit about that, but you got to understand how to actually send these photos over. We'll show you that here in just a second. Look at that. Sun's Wikia Brown. Man, big buck. That is a really nice fish. I wonder if he kept it. They are delicious. Mark, thanks for sending the photo over. It's the Fox 12 app, of course. It's free. When you download it, you'll have everything here with KPTV and KPDX and, of course, Outdoor GPS. It'll also show you exactly how to upload your photos and videos. And if you don't want to do it there, you can leave them on our Facebook page or email them to Ryan. He does whatever he can to make sure we get the photos in. And we love to show you off every Saturday and Sunday morning. Don't forget Abby's, though. GPS@abby's.com. You have a chance to win yourself a giant pizza from Abby's. And I took some of that with me when I headed up to camp. And had that for in a couple of days as well. All right, we're going to cut to break. When we come back, we're going to have our report segment. I got a few photos to show. I'll line you up a little early. My only hero shot's with a fish. Go figure. You go elk hunting, and that's what you do is you catch a fish. Anyway, we'll have that in just a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.